This lesson is going to be a development on technique. Hopefully you've done the last lesson. In the last lesson we're only using one finger at a time. In this lesson we're going to be using two fingers at a time. So the difference is, in the last lesson you're only fretting one note at a time. In this it's going to be one fret. In the last lesson it was one fretted note and then one open string. In this lesson it's going to be one fretted note and another fretted note. So it'll be a little bit more complicated. So just take it really slowly, try and take your time, don't rush. So the first shape we're going to do, again it's on the first string. So all we're doing is, so it's the first fret and the second fret. Really slowly, listening to the notes. So here, if you notice that one note is taking over from the other note. So I don't even have to move that finger can stay where it is all the time. And also I want you to note that my second finger is hardly moving. It's very shallow, it's not going. Normally when people do this, you see people playing the guitar, what they'll do is, if they're doing this very simple exercise, it'll look like this. And there's all sorts of room for things to go wrong there. As you saw, I played the wrong note. And so try and keep your movement very shallow. There's no room for anything to go wrong. And take your time, do it slowly, and work out the easiest ways to do things. Have a think. You don't need to move your first finger, that's fairly logical. It makes good sense not to move it if you don't have to. So the first exercise is just 1, 2. First fret, second fret on the thinnest string. Again with this hand, I'm just moving very small movements. And just a little bit about coordination here. I'm striking this. There's not really any coordination involved with the first note, it's just with the second note I'm striking it. I'm striking it any time after I've fretted it. So if I strike it before I've fretted it, or whilst I'm fretting it, doesn't sound very good. So strike it any time after you've fretted the note. Don't strike it before. Sound like that. That's something that's very basic and very logical, but I think most of the time when people are learning the guitar, it would be very easy for me to assume that everybody knows that, when I found from experience that not everybody knows that. And if you have it explained, then it can really help. So just always strike the note with this hand after you've fretted it with this hand. Okay, so just back to the exercises. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just get used to doing that. And then we're going to do 1 and 3. So if you notice my hand sort of opens up a bit, so I kind of turn my first finger so I can reach a bit further. When I'm doing that, I don't need to worry too much about the space because the notes are so close to each other. But here, I just open my hand up a bit. Okay, so it's 1 and 3. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. So first exercise 1, 2. Then it's 1, 3. And then it's 2, 3. So you always try and use the same fingers as I'm using. I should have mentioned that at the start. We use our first finger in the first fret, we use our second finger in the second fret, and the third finger in the third fret, and the fourth finger in the fourth fret. So now we'll get exercises 1, 2, 1, 3, and we've got 3. Then we've got 2, 4. And then we've got 3, 4. So the ones involving your pinky will be harder, so do them more slowly. But at this point, I just want to talk about something that occurred there. If you notice that when I'm doing 2, 3, and then I'm doing 3, 4. So 2 and 3. Those are actually exactly the same shape. So what I could do is they're exactly the same shape. For the object of this exercise, I want you to use different fingers for them, but also I want you to recognise that they are the same shape. So for example, if somebody's now, after these 2 lessons on technique, and before I move on, just practice those exercises on the different strings like we did in the last lesson. So on the 2nd string, 3rd, all the way up and all the way down. Practice that. But with these lessons, what we've learned are shapes. Try not to think of that as just one independent exercise. It's a shape. So if we do it here, so if you think of all these exercises as shapes that are movable, they become far more powerful. So now that we've done all these exercises, you should have quite a large repertoire of shapes that you can use. So what will happen is you'll be trying to play a song, and the song will maybe be and you don't know the song, but you know the shapes, you've done the shapes before, so it's just a case of recognising that you've done them and then applying them in a slightly different way. So that, if I'm playing, if that's part of a song, then you've done all the shapes already, so it's just a case of reapplying them to something different. We always try and think movably with the guitar. Although you're doing the exercises there, you could do them just as easily do them. You can do them anywhere. So this lesson was on technique, and from here I just want to sort of take you in the direction of things on the guitar being movable, because that's very important. So lesson 2 on technique.